Hello and welcome to our first virtual reality session, VR session, painting in Quill. You can join us on our journey on creating when we will create George's Journey, a VR experience. It's gonna be a short film totally created in virtual reality and can be watched later on with Oculus devices also in virtual reality. Today, I'm joined by Niels, my project partner. I
Hello.
think you can hear him now.
Hello, what's up, guys?
And yeah, today I'm just gonna jump into Quill and try to draw one environment scene that we are going to use in our upcoming short film. And yeah, you can just see how the whole process of creating a VR film can be done. And if you have any questions, just ask in the chat and we'll try to answer them, and maybe Niels can read the questions out to me or answer them himself. And yeah, I hope you like it. But first of all, let me put on my setup. Actually, I have my setup modified from last time I tried the live stream. Main reason being that the Quest 2 runs or the battery dies quite soon when using a PC. And so the new setup is actually wireless, or at least the video is transmitted via Wi-Fi to the headset. And I'm actually having, let's check this out. I'm just gonna grab it right here. You can see it right here. This is the headset, and I actually will run a power bank, and I'm gonna strap it to some Velcro in the back. And with that, I hope I'll be able to run a little bit longer live stream today. And yeah, I'm gonna get everything set up, and as soon as I'm ready, we're going to jump back, and you'll see me inside of Quill. So, and I'm back, still not in Quill, but the setup is ready. As you can see this time, okay, saying wireless wouldn't be correct because there are a lot of wires around my head, but I'm not directly connected to the PC. It's this, the video stream I see comes from the computer via Wi-Fi to my headset. Just gonna have to make some minor adjustment right here. All right. I'm just gonna open up the chat so that I can see when someone is asking questions? Maybe Niels, you can give me some feedback if the stream is running okay at this point?
Yes, it is.
Alright.
We're currently being watched by 5 people.
That's nice. I hope I can show something soon. I'm just gonna have to make sure everything works well. And then we can jump right in. But everything at least looks good for now. So I can open up Quill. And I'm just gonna switch. And I hope looking good. All right. So now here we are inside of Quill. So this is the program we're gonna use to create the whole film. So it's not just about creating assets. We also do like every step of production in here. The only thing that's going to be outside of the Quill is the sound design, so the creation of the audio. But it will be mixed, or at least put together in Quill entirely. And yeah, it can be watched later on in Quill Theater. It is only available for Oculus devices, so you have to keep that in mind. If you're able to watch it, it should be up in about 3 months from now, because that's the time frame we have to create the whole project. And yeah, I would say let's dive in. First of all, I prepared like a little file. Hope you can open it right now, because actually in our short film, our character will visit an island, and on this island he will have some challenges. So we'll have to yeah, it's a little bit Indiana Jones like. So he has to jump from one rock to another without falling down. And maybe he'll swing on like a vine or a liana. And that's what I'm gonna try to draw today. Yeah, let's get started. First of all, like always, I want to start with a rough sketch. Just gonna use this right now. Just having a little bit blurry vision. So I'm gonna start with a rough sketch. I love to use the straight line tool for that, because it gives like the cleanest results, and it's easiest to work with afterwards. So I'm just gonna sketch out a rough scene. We're gonna have like a wall right here, and I think it's a little the wall should be a little bit like curved, or it should go around a corner like this a little bit, so we have it's not just one straight line. And the same thing on the other side. So I'm starting out with these simple shapes. Later on you won't see them. I'm gonna erase them. But it's best to block out your scene first before you go into detail. So that's what I'm doing right now. And now I'm just gonna roughly connect them on top. And now that is done, I'm gonna add like the top of it, because it's gonna be like a rock formation. So you see like a cliff right here. So in this direction, it's just going into darkness, I would say. And I'm just gonna draw it right here, I guess. So I want to have like some blocks right here. Just like this, just some rocks sticking out, like somebody built kind of stairs into the rock. I want to have it right here. It's just going to go up like this. And at this point right here, there's gonna be like a hole that you have to jump over, or in this case, I think what would be nice is to have like some sort of liana or vine hanging right down here. He can jump on it and swing on the other side. That's, I think, what we will be going for today. At least the environment. I think we won't come to the animation. But yeah, just gonna block this out even further. Just gonna be something like this. It's gonna go around the stairs, I would call them now. And this is like the basic first step I would always do, is like work with very simple sketches and just duplicate to get a quick idea on how everything could be set up. And another thing I had in mind is I want to have this part actually a little bit higher right here. And at this point, there's gonna be like another layer. Simeon! Thank you! Thank you for the donation. Great to have you here. Yeah, so I'm just gonna add another layer. And like I said, if you have any questions regarding like the workflow or in general how the whole process is in creating in VR, because I think this is the most like exciting and difficult thing in virtual reality, is that you don't really understand it when you're watching it in 2D. So it's just a totally different experience, and this is just what makes virtual reality so special. But at the same time, this is what makes it so hard. To get out to new people, to have new people try it. Because when you just watch a 2D video, it can be very hard to understand what's going on. So at any point, feel free to ask questions. But that's one thing we want to try to do here in these, or with these live streams, is to get some people into the technology and get a little bit of understanding for it, and maybe when they have the possibility to try it out, they will more likely do it, and I can just recommend it because it's just amazing. Alright, so here's the simple blocked out shape I want to do. In this case, we want to be like quite close to the whole action. Just gonna make this a little bit smaller, it looks better. We're gonna be quite close, and this is not like a whole environment I'm just gonna paint. So we are basically focused on this situation where he could possibly fall down right here. So maybe this would be the angle from where you'd watch it, so you can really see down the whole cliff and see that he's in danger. I'm just gonna make a sketch. He's gonna stand right here. Okay, maybe for this I'm not gonna use the straight line tool, but just gonna draw him right here.
G asked a question. He said, do you get dizzy sometimes painting in Quill?
I would say not really, not anymore at least. I got used to it quite quickly, so after like after 2 weeks, I would say it was getting better and better. So after 2 weeks, I didn't have any problems anymore. at least for normal use, I would say. So it just, if the program crashes or has a bug and things are just shaking, so not normal behavior, then it can be, it can make me dizzy. But for normal use cases like this, when everything goes well, I don't have any problems. But there are a lot of people experiencing like this of virtual reality sickness and getting a headache. And that's what we actually also have to plan for, or to keep in mind when creating in a movie for virtual reality, because you don't want to create for the ones that are already used to everything or that are totally resistant to virtual reality sickness, but you want to produce for everyone. And yeah, that's why you should have it in mind, even if you don't experience it yourself. So he's just gonna jump right here, or like jump right here, and then it's gonna swing him up like this. Maybe we have to add a little bit of separation between these two steps, that it's actually a challenge. But yeah, this is what I would call it's blocked out. And if we're wondering, I had like this piece right here. I just loaded in. I'm just gonna grab it. I loaded in from another scene of the island. I already drew the environment, or at least parts of it, and I just copied one of the pieces to have the right color, because it's a little bit it's an environment that looks a little bit like it's sandy. It's not like how do you call it? More like a desert look. It has more like a desert look to it, and that's why it's in this sand color. And yeah, that's why I have it here, to pick the color. And I'm just gonna create a new layer. Not a group, a new layer. And just call it rock. The rock layer is just gonna be the basic structure. And I want to start with really big and simple shapes. So I will start off with this middle part, because it's the easiest, because it's like perfectly 90 degrees to the ground, or to my area. So I can just pull it down perfectly straight. Just gonna redo it and make it really long this time. And now that I have that, what I'm thinking about right now is if I should do the coloring first this time or afterwards. I think I'm going to go with afterwards. So now I'm just gonna take this one thing I created, and I'm just going to duplicate it to this side, rotate it, and I have my sketch where I can just roughly align it. There can be overlapping in the back. That's not really a problem, because we will not see it from the back. And I think I'm just gonna go for it like this. So, and I could also, I don't know if this is better when I put on the markings, but here you can see the triangles of the actual 3D shape. And yeah, it's a little bit easier for me to draw in virtual reality when these are on, because then I can more easily see the distance of my hand to the actual stroke that I already painted. And for this side, I'm actually just, I think I'm just copying this once again. And I'm just going to move it down.
Livstream News just wrote impressive. Thank you, Livstream News.
Thanks, History News. So, alright, this is like the most basic step that you would usually do. It's I would say the fun thing, but it's similar to painting, but in this program is that you start off with very simple shapes, and then when you later on add some color variation, then you will start to see like the three-dimensional aspect even better. And the thing is with Quill, especially in VR, is that when you see it in 2D like you do right now, you need like extra color information to actually understand that it's 3D. Because you just see flat colors. But actually when you are in Quill, seeing it through both of your eyes, you already have like this 3D view of it. So it's, yeah, like the 3D perspective is, clearer in virtual reality. And when you later on add shadows and stuff like this, it's just amazing how it looks like in virtual reality.
Yeah, but we also have to add the shadows ourselves because Quill doesn't have shading. So every
exactly,
shading
that's
is
right.
done by hand.
So it's not like in a 3D program where you can just, it's not like that's in a 3D program. It's a very easy process, but you could just add a light or a sunlight and have your shadows automatically generated, and that is just a thing that doesn't exist in Quill. So painting shadows is one important step in the whole process. We're gonna see later on as well. So, but I'm just gonna start off now by noticing that there's an overlap problem right here. So I have to rotate it a little bit more, and it should disappear. All right. So, just to start off, now I think I'm actually going to give it different colors a little bit. So a little bit of shading I will add right now, just to differentiate between the sides. In my scene, I think, and I'm just gonna add that to the sketch layer. I think the sun is coming something like from this direction. So it's coming from here, or from the side at least. So it's a little bit from the back like this, I guess. So I will try to adjust for that. So if the sun is coming from this side, of course this should be a lot brighter than the rest. So I'm going to paint it now. So just going in and repaint this side. And even now you can already see how big of a difference this makes with just this one little color adjustment. I just noticed that there's another overlapping issue, but it's fixed now. So we have this. I would just think that this one would be a little bit darker than the other ones. So if you have like these large elements, sometimes in Quill you will have to duck down or stretch a little bit to reach the points where you want to paint. I hope that won't be the case that often today. And this
and
one...
if we can't reach it, we could still try to rescale the scene, but that would make a difference in our brush sizes because they don't get scaled with the scene.
Alright. I think I'm going to go just a touch darker on this one too. Alright. But I think I quite like it right now. What's happening right? Ah, okay. Just another. All right. And now what I want to add is like a fade to black down here, because just imagine that it's going to go into like total darkness down there. So I would just go in and I am gonna start off and paint it black down here. First thing, and then with like I can have like the color strength as well, and I can just go in and make a fade going up like this. So now I think maybe a little bit more here, and here's what I'm just gonna turn off my helpers. Yeah, so now everything is like disappearing into the darkness, but we need at the bottom now just some just a black plane in order to make it seem like there's really something down there. So if we would go here and look down with the grid now way, it looks a little bit like, yeah, it's just going into nowhere if he would fall down in this scene. So yeah, that is what we're going for. Alright, now to the next parts. I'm just gonna save first.
Yes, saving frequently in this program is really important because it's sometimes a little bit unstable, and I've made the mistake of not saving enough or not saving the different files, and yeah, that's not great. You don't want that happening.
For me it runs actually quite stable normally. Now that I said it, I think it will crash today. But the thing is, you just get used to auto-saving features in every other program you have. And that's a little bit why I had to get used to this. But yeah, next thing, I want to create some rocks. Some rocks sticking out, and because we want to have, we are going to have some scenes, so there will be different locations, and that's why we want to have it as simple as possible. So that's why I would go in and create some like where's my grid? Just gonna. Alright, no. That's why I want to create some very basic rocks. I already did that once, so I hope it will go quite fast. So, just call it... It's gonna be my rock small. And first off, I'm just gonna make a cube shape. Not gonna make a cube, but let's do it like this. Alright, and I'm just going to do like a basic shape with this by rotating the sides up. I have to watch that it's lining up. All right. And I'm just gonna create like a very basic shape right now. So I can just go copy. And another copy. This is like sometimes it's quite hard to see if you're actually at the right size. Hope this will work. I'm looking quite okay. No. I think I'll just go in and put in another one right here. So there's also just to have it. Maybe I'm just gonna show you one thing before I continue. The reason why I do shapes in Quill like this is quite simple. Just gonna show you, because there actually is a brush that is like sized perfectly. So this is like totally what I actually want to create right now, is something that looks just like this. And now the question is, why do I do it this way? It's a little bit harder. You have to fiddle around and just eyeball to see if it is like connecting right. Why don't I use something like this? It's quite simple. If I want to add shading now, if I go to this box, I can go in and just pick one side, make a darker color, the strength, put the strength up, and darken it. Go to this side, make, or up here, pick the color, where is it? Yeah, no, there. Make it lighter. And there have your lighting already painted in. But if I want to try the same thing right here, the problem is that it's not working, because it's coloring the whole stroke, like always in. Let's add another color. Always drawing like in this direction, so you can't color it up or down in this case, or in these dimensions. In this dimension, so just in one dimension you can color it. So let's make it a little bit more obvious with just red. So as you can see, even if I'm going very close and just have a little brush, you can see as soon as I touch this space, the whole ring will be red. And that's why you can't actually use this brush if you want to create like a totally shaded object. So that's why I'm actually building them myself right here. As you can see, I forgot to paint this upper object. And oh no, this is this is a problem you can run into when you have everything so small that also big that you can't reach the other side with your pen. Yeah, but that's how I would go about that. Usually I take some more time, but I think I already got that prepared, so I'm gonna switch, I think, later on maybe. Depending on how this works out. Alright, so now I have everything, and just gonna paint a little bit more, so even darker at the back. And down here, it's going to be like real dark. Alright. And don't know, it's just think about where the sun would be and how I think it's going to be just a little dark at least. So maybe like this. It's a good start. So now I would go in and add some detail. That would be the next thing. So maybe pick the color from this I use on this side. Do I have it? Yeah. And then just go in like real close and just make some basic lines right here. Move them down, zoom out, duplicate, make it smaller, make it larger, duplicate. And even when you have like multiple alreadys, you could also go in and of course pick 2 of them, move them around, but you want to have enough variation across the whole thing. Yeah, that's a little bit what it's taking a lot of time when creating in Quill. If we want to do something like this, painting in detail, but it is like really important if you want to have it look interesting, I guess, or at least for my taste. So I'm just gonna copy the whole thing and try to move it a little bit random across the whole thing. It's not like so. Yeah, and that's what I would basically do, is just add some detail like this. I can actually show you maybe, because like creating just this I think won't be that interesting for the rest of the stream, so I think I would skip that. I would usually just go in now and grab the upper parts, for example, pull into the side and then recolor them to be like on the brighter part, and then put them right here somewhere just to have variation also on the darker side. But I think, because it won't be that interesting to watch me draw these stones for the rest of the stream, I actually have some prepared like in a cooking show. And they're here. I think can grab them right here. So this is what a finished result could look like. They're very simple, so it's not like super complicated. It's just a little bit less even than I drew right now, or this time, but I actually kind of like the look. It's quite simple, but still a little bit of detail that makes it interesting. And now I'm just gonna use these assets I created, and I'm just gonna move them up in a new layer. Just gonna call them just gonna name it and put it up here, and there they are. So now that I have these rocks, I actually deleted them. Now that I have these rocks, I I'm just gonna go in, grab them, just copy them, and place them. Just gonna put the rocks in again. So this is what they will look like when they're sticked on the wall. So I'm just gonna use different sizes and rotate them a little bit. They won't be perfectly straight right here. It's not perfectly built, or at least, or maybe it's old, as you might say. And I'm just gonna build up the staircase right here. Looking all right. Just gonna add the other ones right here. Yep. And I think that's it for the stones, at least for now, because I would say, like, in my main drawing I put rocks up here to cover these edges a little bit. So I'm just gonna do this right here as well. So I'm just gonna use some of them to make like more interesting edge right here. And up here as well. So it's not like a perfectly straight line. So I'm just gonna add this right here. And it's just gonna be me like duplicating a whole lot of these rocks around. Maybe some will stick out like this. Just gonna go back to more normal shape. And one's just a little bit bigger. And yeah, like this we have the top filled up. Looks a bit clustered right now, but it's actually not going to be like the main focus of the scene, so I think we'll get away with that. And what I would do is usually now just make a real, like a more rocky wall with some parts sticking out in different areas. So just like this maybe. So it's not a totally blank wall, and maybe in the middle of this right here as well. Yeah, so this is kind of the process. So I actually just put together two assets, and now I'm just gonna copy them around, and I think it will work quite well in the end, even or especially after we added some shadows. I'm just gonna make this a little bit smaller right here through the edges, because I don't want it to look like that he could just be saved when he falls down by a rock. So it's, when there is one, it's just sticking out barely, and it's very steep, so he couldn't hold on and would still fall down. Put one up here. I think now is also the time to actually put away the sketch. I think it's, at this point, it's actually a little bit distracting.
Maybe
What?
you should also try to save.
That's a good point. All right. So, looks a little bit uniform up here because they're like all about the same height. Just gonna put one also a little bit down there, and copy one, make it real small maybe, and put it there. yeah, this is just actually a process I really enjoy with Quill. When you have just music running and just painting stuff like this, because you're actually like real focus on the thing that you're creating, just because you're inside of virtual reality and are just surrounded by your piece, and yeah, like no distractions at all. And I think that's super cool if you're working in virtual reality, because yeah, that's, or at least for me, it's something I think it's like the most creative tool I have used so far, I would say, or at least for me, it seems like the most creative. I think, of course, everything has like their own style and maybe program, or when they're just drawing, that they feel like they're most creative in it. But for me, it's Quill. I just sometimes really get lost in it and just totally forget time while doing it, and that's something that hasn't happened to me in a while, and I really enjoy it. And I kind of like the outcome so far. I think I would add now the actual swinging part. So the part where right here, I think I would put it up here. Just gonna stand out like this. I don't know, Niels, do you think it should be like a rock where it's coming down, or should it be like more like a metal?
Yeah, I've also thought about that, and I think it would be great if it would be like a organic structure, like a rock and a vine or something growing on top of it, and it's like coming from down there,
okay,
hanging there.
So I'm actually going to have like this bigger piece right here, but it's going to be like maybe like this, and it could have like the thing going down right here. Yeah, I think that's going to work, but I'm moving away this part a little bit out of the way right here. So I think that's going to work. I'm just gonna draw a quick line to see how it would go down. And I think that's seems all right. It even seems not that totally perfect. I would say would be nicer for the person jumping if it was right here. So maybe it seems even a little bit more challenging. But I actually think we have to move this one a little bit down. Just like this. Okay, so next step. And I think this will add a lot of like interest to the scene, or make it visually more pleasing. Is adding shadow right now. So I'm just gonna do a shadow layer. I do all these layers right now just so I can isolate and change things faster. But in the end, I'll just have to combine it all so that it is performant enough to run on the headset. Because right now I'm actually, like I said in the beginning, streaming from my computer. So the computer is doing the processing, but this the Oculus Quest 2 is actually a standalone headset, so you can play games or watch things like this without needing a computer, but it has limited processor power, so it's like a mobile phone chip inside of it. And that's why there is especially this bar right here, the performance window in Quill, and you'll have to watch that it is always in the green areas. If it is not, you can't publish. So you have to keep in mind on that. And one of these things that you have to keep an eye on is the so-called draw calls. And draw calls are simply just, it's to put it simple, you can just say that every layer you have when something is inside of it is at least one draw call. And so if you have a large scene, you'll have to combine some assets or layers, or you will run into problems. So, adding shadow. Just going to define a shadow color. Just gonna the good thing now, I don't really have to fix like so totally be sure about the shadow color, because I can change it afterwards. The thing is, with the shadow color, I want to have it a little bit. It is dependent on how the scene actually will look like. So if you think about, and now I have like a white background, but I could make it more blue, for example. That's a little bit too much. But if I would have it like a sky blue background, then the shadows should be at least a little bit blue, because of the sky actually reflecting down, being reflected by the floor, and that's why really picking the right color is a little bit difficult without actually knowing how exactly the surrounding should look like. But like I said, it's quite easy to change that afterwards if I have it in a layer. I'm just gonna use this darker color, and the first thing I want to do is like make visible contact shadows. So I'm just going around it again around the object. So just like you have in other programs, faking ambient occlusion is just like that. So as soon as, or every time two objects comes close to each other, like at the crease, there's a little bit of shadow. And I'm just going to draw that in right now. And maybe at the bottom I can already go in and add even more. So, I can just... it's in Quill, I very often think work smarter, not harder, but the problem for me is that I usually don't know if it actually a smart idea until I tried it out, and I think copying this around doesn't work for this object, but as soon as it is like on a flat surface, it should work quite well, I guess. All right. So. All right. I'm just gonna have to go through now and put it on the other ones. But as you can see already, it's adding quite a lot to the scene. If you look at it with and without, just the contrast between now, if we have it like this, and this makes a huge difference. And I think that's also one of the fun things with Quill, like not having like actual lighting, is that you have to think about how lighting actually works. It's just, it's not Quill exclusive. Even when you're just painting, you have to do it as well. But I really like thinking about where to add shadow, contact shadows. I really enjoy doing it like this. Even if you have... if you have like many objects, what I have here right now, like the amount of objects is... It's alright, it's not that much, but if you're imagining doing like a whole scene where everything is filled like this, it's just a lot of work to do that, and I think that's just a thing you have to do. That you have to invest time to make it look good in Quill. I think there are no like real shortcuts or like it's not like there's just a good render engine and you can just throw an object at it and it's gonna look nice. You actually have to think about a lot. I think for these I'm just gonna add like a little shadow like on the more shadowy side. So I don't think I will do a contact shadow everywhere, I guess. Maybe just on the left side in this case. Yeah. When it comes to virtual reality headsets, I think it's a pity because like the Oculus Quest 2 is actually not like really available right now in Germany. So you have to actually buy it in France, for example, because of legal issues regarding Facebook at the moment, because it's actually a Facebook product, or Oculus is part of Facebook, and that's why you can't actually buy it right now in Germany. I ordered mine on Amazon France. Got it shipped here. It worked quite well for you as well, right, Niels? It was
yes.
not a big of a deal. But the thing now is that I think at the moment the Oculus Quest is like, or the Quest 2 is the headset I would recommend to like everyone trying to get into VR, just because of the big package you'll receive.
Yeah,
with
Oculus. It's very versatile, to be honest. Like it's a really good way to get into VR, I would say.
Yeah, because the reasons being, I mean, like I already told you, it's you usually when you just receive the headset, there are already games and videos and experiences you can just play on your headset without needing a powerful PC, and they're great games already you can try out, and also documentaries in VR that are quite interesting, and yeah, you can do that, and after that, if you have a powerful PC, you can still put it up like I'm doing right now. You can just put it up and yeah, run it off your PC. And now they even added like it's still in a beta status, so it's not an official release. But what I do right now to do it wirelessly, that is possible, I think, since about 1 week, and it's just it has been a great experience so far for me. So not really crashes. once in a while it stutters a little bit for me, but that could also be like a router problem. But it's just amazing what you can do with it. And with the price point, I mean, Facebook is... you really see that Facebook is trying to push, like, in the industry, because the price point of the Quest 2, I think, is when you get the smaller version, it's around... What was it?
I think the smaller one is 350 and the euros, and the bigger one is 450 euros. And that's it.
So it's not that expensive in comparison to example an HTC Vive or an Valve Index headset. And with these headset, you, like I mentioned, you need a gaming PC. So I think a lot of people just don't have like a VR ready PC. Mine is struggling a lot too with bigger games. But just have the possibility to play some games without actually having to use a PC is just great, I guess. Yeah, and I just hope that it's getting more adopted, because I totally see the potential of VR.
And also with the Oculus Quest, you can watch our film when it's ready. You can watch it anywhere. That's the great.
Yeah, that's another point. So if I want to go around and show it, I can just put my Quest in my backpack, go around to people, if that is possible, then, and just show it. It's you don't need like to bring your PC anywhere, or just have people come to you in order to see what you created. You can just show it to them if they're interested, and I think that's just cool. And I think that is actually why I really like the Quest as well, is because it makes it so easy to share the experience of VR, because you can just bring it to a friend, they can try it out, bring it to your family when you're visiting them for holiday or something like this. And yeah, they can try it out. And I think a lot of people actually don't, or think wrong of virtual reality because they already tried something like a Google Cardboard or something like this, or just virtual reality with a mobile phone, with a cardboard cutout or something like this. You know what I mean? Like
I talked to some guys, to a bunch of people about it, and they all were like, "Oh no, I don't want to try VR because I've tried it before, and I've tried this like on a Google Cardboard or something like that, or like one where you put your phone inside and they've only watched roller coasters. Like that's like the worst way to get into VR in my opinion, because it can get you really dizzy really fast, and
and it's not that exciting. That's another point.
That's true. Yeah,
making you want to throw up, and it's not fun. Perfect combination. Yeah. And I finished the contact shadows at least. I think it's looking quite alright. I think I'll have to go in and add some more rock detail. But
don't forget to save.
Good point. So. If there are still some people watching, maybe they can tell if they already have tried virtual reality in any forum. That would be interesting.
Right now we have peak viewership. We have 11 people watching. Hello guys, welcome.
So now, like I said, I want to add some more detail, and I have, like I said, prepared this rock presets, but I also have this one right here. It is without any detail, so it's just a cube, and I'm just going to use that. Where is it? Copy selection to new layer. There it is. All right. So here's the new layer. Already exist. So these are the detailed rocks. So I'm just gonna bring them right here. And these are gonna be like super small, like really small. Just like maybe like this. So I'm just gonna duplicate a bunch of them in small little pattern, just like this. And now I'm just gonna grab the whole bunch I created, and these are now duplicated around the whole thing. So it's...
We have an answer from Fiesco G to our question. He's saying, solely some games, but only for a short time period, which is why I was wondering if one gets dizzy after long usage. Oh yeah, you were talking about that before.
Yeah, but the thing, I actually did some research on the topic. So it is for some people actually linked to time. That is really a fact. So it is said that most people that don't experience like that aren't like super sensitive to motion sickness, they actually like, I think 10 minutes is like the sweet spot. So 10 minutes is it's being set at the moment that the like the, what do I say it, like most users seem to be able to do VR experience or game 10 minutes long. That is like the longest you can go if you aren't like used to the whole thing, I would say. And then afterwards you might get a headache. Maybe you're getting tired just because your eyes are just you have just to concentrate that long. And yeah, so 10 minutes is usually the benchmark for the first try. I found out in my research. They aren't quite sure if you can adjust. So there isn't like clear evidence that long time usage reduces the amount of sickness you'll have when doing VR. But from my experience, I can say for me it was the case. So first off, it also depends on the game. Like, for example, there are games when you're just standing and the only movement taking place of the environment is just what you actually do. So the environment moves because you move your head. But as soon as you use something like the triggers right here to move, then it's the environment around you is moving, but you're standing still. And that is something that can lead to the... to this feeling of illness. And I think that can be a little bit adapted, because when I played a game like this for the first time, I actually was shocked because I thought I wouldn't experience something like that, because I don't have problems like reading in a car when it's driving and stuff like this, or with roller coasters. I never had any problems. So I thought it will be fine, but it actually, I felt a little bit ill when playing in the morning, for example, after like 15 minutes. But then the next time I was able to do it 20 minutes. The next session was 40 minutes long, and now I'm at a point where I would just say I don't get sick anymore. Like, I mean, I still get tired, and I think sometimes I get a little bit of a headache, but it's when you think about just staring at a computer screen for 4 hours straight. I think it's understandable that you can develop a headache around that time. So I don't think that is something that is VR specific. But like Neil said, like that's why roller coasters, virtual reality roller coasters, aren't a good starting point, because it will just ruin your first experience and you won't love to try another one afterwards, and that's just a shame. Because they're doing for games, for example, they're doing like ratings where you can see that a game is like very easy to consume or easy to play with not that much movement, and there are ratings and warnings when it is a little bit complicated or more complicated or faster moving stuff happening. Then you usually get a warning beforehand, and you can just decide to play games that are in your range where you feel comfortable. So, I now added some detail rocks. I think I like it quite much. What I want to add right now is just a little bit of cracks in the wall, actually. So I'm just gonna take.
Yeah. Also, to come back to the topic, I think games or game developers are also like giving their viewports of the game vignettes. So like your peripheral vision is kind of muted, because I think if I understand it correctly, that's like where the problem comes from, your peripheral vision, right?
Yeah, that's at least what I came up in my research, is that this is like the part of the vision that is that affects like this illness the most is the peripheral vision, so the outside. And that's why, like you said, in games, for example, they actually use vignettes, so they just block your peripheral vision completely when you're moving. And the cool thing is, what I really like is that usually the developers actually give you options. So that's what I like, is when they ask you if you want that, because of course it's if you can handle like virtual or this movement, it is nicer to not have the vignette. So I really like when they give you the choice, but that is one technique how you could defeat motion sickness, actually. And some, for example, when you look at their different ways you can move in virtual reality. So some actually use the joystick, others just want you to teleport, and I think the best games, in my opinion, just let you choose. But I can totally understand why maybe you don't want the user to choose because you'll have to have multiple systems. I mean, I totally understand why you don't want to develop a game where it's possible to walk and teleport, because it's like maybe 2 times the work, so that it feels right, I would say. So I can totally understand why not every game has the option to choose. But yeah, teleportation is also a way to fix that, because like the usual movement, and that is great about this kind of device, because it actually tracks your head in 3D space, and that means that for things where you have to be stationary, it isn't really a problem. For example, when you're playing table tennis, it isn't really a problem with motion sickness, because like the VR headset just replicates what would happen in the real world. I mean, if you're just moving your head right, you see everything like you would do in the real world, and that's why that isn't such a big problem when it comes to virtual reality sickness. But there are also hardware factors. So there are people that are more sensitive to flickering, for example. If you're a person that doesn't like, or is more sensitive to flickering light, then you might, for example, get more or virtual reality sickness, because some of the headsets have a quite low refresh rate compared to others, and yeah, that's why there are also differences that can't be fixed by a game, but they just like stuck to the hardware, so you can't do anything about it, to say it like that. I hope that was quite clear.
Also, PSCoG wrote, truly appreciate the detailed answer. Thank you.
No, yeah, getting into detail now.
He wrote it a while ago, but I didn't want to break your flow. I also wanted to say something, but I forgot about it. So. Oh, one thing, don't forget to save.
Maybe we should, maybe I should add like a live stream timer up here somewhere, where you can actually have a timer when it's time to save or something like that. That would be maybe a good thing, or maybe like an audio cue or something like that.
That would be great for me though, because I'm prone to forgetting about it. Still.
Yeah, that's the negative aspect when you get into a flow, that you then forget stuff like this.
Yeah, so we should try getting into the flow, but not too deep. A semi-flow, I don't know.
Or interrupted at least.
Yeah, like
every 30 seconds. Not seconds, minutes. Seconds would be...
30 seconds, we need to save. To throw to the save.
Oh, I'm just not using totally black. That's why it's not looking like I want to. I just want to move the part where it's starting to get dark a little bit up. Yeah, maybe have to fix it later on.
Maybe also we could add something like mist or something like that down there, like transparent layer or something. I think that would be great.
Yeah, totally. Just gonna think about. Actually, I'm just gonna have a little sip of water. Wait, where's my glass with my straw? All right. So, yeah, I'm just gonna pick that up.
Also, you've been streaming for 18 minutes now, so I don't know how long you want to keep going for today, but
I think first of all, I'm just gonna check if my. Can you actually tell me if there is like is there a light up here? Do you see that? Wait, wrong direction.
Sorry, I can't tell because
it's so small, right?
No, I just don't see it when you say it. I need to wait for it to appear.
Oh, alright. But I'm just gonna check in the menu right now how it says my... Alright, my battery is totally alright, so it's still loaded like nearly full, that is perfect. So the setup actually works. So all of this cable stuff and the messed up... Okay, my hair is messed up even without the headset, so... I don't want to say it's because of the headset that my hair is messed up. It's just... hasn't been cut in a long time.
Okay, PSCoG is writing don't see none. I don't know if he's talking about
I think it's referred to the... Now I think he's referring to the light, but even though there is no light, I think it's loading, so that's all right. So I think I'm gonna add plants next, just to see how this works out.
Also to come back to VR headsets and hair, I think there's nothing you can do right with that, because all the YouTubers and streamers, and from my own experience, I can only tell you that it will wreck your hairstyle if you have one. So
yeah, so not having one at all is maybe actually the right choice.
Yeah, if you're planning to go outside after using a VR headset, maybe, I don't know, you should
just don't do it.
Cap on. Just don't do it. Just don't do it right now. Stay inside. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is really something that you have to keep in mind when you have a meeting or something. You shouldn't plan. It's not like playing a normal game when you could say, yeah, I'm just gonna finish and just jump into a Zoom call or something like that. You should plan for that and be ready at least 15 minutes earlier, because you'll also have like a red mark around your face if you're using it for some time.
Yeah, the marks on your face. I just realized, or I've realized earlier, but I forgot about it. I seem to have a weird echo on my voice. I'm sorry for that, guys. I hope you can still understand me, though.
You have an echo?
Yeah, there's like, I can hear myself double in the stream, kind of like an echo. Maybe it's because you're taking the sound from two different sources, I don't know. But I just wanted to say, it's all coming together right now. It's looking really good with like...
It's just starting, yeah.
It's like you've just made like, I don't know, 5-6 different assets, and by scaling them, it really works. I'm impressed.
Yeah, and I really think that, of course, maybe I should change it a little bit up, that it's not always the same pattern on this side. Maybe it's just a little bit moved. But I think when you look at it, it doesn't really bother you, especially in VR. Because there's enough going on and you don't really you can't really tell, I would say.
Also, the wall isn't really the focus of the scene. The focus of the scene is our main character, George, dangling from that vine, or Liani. I don't know how to pronounce it, but I think vine is okay. So, yeah, he's going to, I don't know, we could maybe tell our audience a little bit about the stage of the story you're, like, where we're in right here.
Yeah, it's actually like on his journey, like one of his not like last steps, but he's actually trying to get to his goal at this point. And for that he has to climb a little bit of like these stairs. I think it should be quite in the middle, I guess.
Yeah, I think
the whole experience.
It's right in front of the climax of the story, I think, kind of. He's going towards his goal, and he's already achieved stuff, like he achieved a successful landing of his machine on this island. He's like kind of doing the Indiana Jones thing. Yeah.
I'm trying to do I'll actually try to add some detail to this one. It's nice to work with a grab tool in Quill, where you can just deform simple strokes, but it's also, you have to get used to the workflow with it. I think for me it was quite hard at the beginning, and still is.
Yeah, I have to say you're far ahead on that tool from me. Like I have to learn more of that, and I'm still, well, in the scene I'm currently building, it's like everything is quite geometrical, so I don't really need to deform stuff that much, but I'm going to need to use it as well, so I need to learn it better.
Alright, that's not gonna work. Have to do the connecting a little bit better. Maybe like this. And now I have to delete this one, and now if I just gonna put it right here. Boom! Okay, it looks quite nice, doesn't it?
Yeah,
That's right.
It works really well. But you gotta keep in mind, we have to also, this thing has to move, right? So like,
Yeah.
that's going to be a challenge as well, I think.
Yeah, I think so too, but yeah, like in normal production you would say we fix it in post. Maybe that's the thing
That's
is,
not a good idea.
the problem with this is like if I'm going to create a problem right here, like for this scene, I have to be the one to fix it afterwards. But I think you could also just delete it later if it is like really not working. So
Yeah,
I think
just,
I would
we could just
plan
also
for it.
redo it, yeah.
Just plan for it to. I just say it will work right now. So.
Yes, G is writing, looking good. I think he's talking about the vine, so good work. Good job.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna repeat it actually with another color. It's just something I would like to add. So I think so it's like a pair running down. And what I would do right now as well is just go in. Oh, actually I can just paint the whole thing, I guess. So I'm just gonna grab it and I'm just gonna go in and pick like a darker color, and I'm just gonna pick darken right now. So I should just go in. Does it work? Phase 2. Yeah. Okay. It's not. Yeah, I should just use a green as well, and then start from the bottom. Just make it darker, just a bit, so that it fades a little bit down there. It's a little bit too much, but I think a little bit of that will work. So just like this, to have some, at least some sort of like shading in there as well. And I think this right here should be a part where there's actually a little bit more growing, because I think with that you could feel a little bit more comfortable like actually hanging. And because I want to have it like
also for your guys' info about our project, maybe let's tell you guys a little bit about our project for everybody who doesn't know already. I don't know. So this is our bachelor degree project we're doing, and we're currently in the hot phase. It started this week, and we are going to do this project in about 3 months, or like for the duration of 3 months. That's what we plan on working on this short video. So you can stay tuned for, like, in 3 months we're going to release it, maybe a little bit earlier, maybe not.
Yeah, because the thing is that it's just part of our project. So actually what will be like the real final project, you could say, is just documentation actually about working in VR, with more specific info about creating something for VR, with some information I gained or knowledge I gained in my thesis that I wrote, and yeah, it's just gonna be a combination of all of that.
Yeah. So our project kind of is a little, not a little experiment. It's a big experiment for us, at least, because we've never done something in that scale before. And yeah, it's going to be an experiment, and our bachelor project will be to document that project and like make a nice documentary out of it.
So it's not really a research project, but it's more that than a than just just a video project, I would say.
Yeah,
Because it's actually based on scientific research as well. Yeah.
Also, as you've seen before, Nino talked about it before, like we have to optimize a lot for you to be able to watch it on your Oculus Quests, like on the go or not hooked up to a computer. And for that, we are planning like 1 month of optimizing. But we also have to work a lot. We have to plan a lot ahead. We have to think about, how are we going to do it? Because it's kind of we have to know how to do it before we do it. We can't like try it. Otherwise, we have to redo it to optimize it later.
Yeah, that's why I, in this case, or we, at least hope so, don't use that much of freehand drawn stuff. So I think I gave this example already. If you have something like this rotated, for example, then you can see like there's a lot, in this example actually not, a lot of triangles around here, and you can optimize it actually, so you can just pick it and run the optimization tool, but you will see that now it has less, but also it isn't that smooth anymore. So you have to keep that in mind, and I don't know what happened right here, but it's not smooth anymore. And so optimization, you have to plan for it to know if your whole thing will work, and that's why, we build our stuff more cubic, with easier forms, and then spicing it up with a little bit of plans, for example, in this case, with some little hand-drawn elements. And I think it works quite well because it just interrupts these basic forms are just interrupted by these more how do you call it, like more organic forms that we'll add right here. And I'm super excited on how it will turn out in the end.
Yeah, also I just wanted to come back to like the shading. If you could show us the whole wall maybe from like a full perspective, because I just wanted to remark on how easily it all comes together with some simple shading. Like it's like, I don't know, you put like 2 or 3 colors, shapes under the objects, and it directly works. Like it's already working to like give a lot more depth to the scene.
Yeah, what I could imagine doing actually, I think I don't need that many more plans. I'm just gonna add one more maybe right here on the edge, and I think that's all right. Saying that's all right, and just add another one. Perfect. Just gonna have to find like a middle ground that it's not too much. In this edge there would totally be like a little bit of it. Maybe around this corner as well. All right. Yeah, I think it already looks quite nice. I think what I would like to try is add even more shadow to these stairs. Just calling stairs. I'm just gonna try it. We'll see how that will work out. So I'm just gonna pick this color again and go back into the shadow section. And I'm just gonna try what happens if I'm going to go in right here and just draw something like this right here. Maybe not that long. So it's like a real hard shadow right now. Okay, this is a little bit harsh, but it kind of already works. But I don't want it to be like, oh, what did I grab? Kind of works. What did you say?
Well, I need to wait for the stream, to be honest.
All right.
But yeah, I think it works. Like we have to, like you said earlier, we have to keep in mind where the sun is coming from because we have to paint it ourselves. It should
I
all,
think
like,
actually the thing is that actually the sun shouldn't be affecting this at all, like because it's coming from here. So maybe I'm just gonna add like. I never did this before, but I'll try to do this more like a soft shadow maybe. This sounds a little bit like not possible to me, or at least for me. I think there are people that actually could do this, but maybe
you could shade the shade.
I should
maybe.
just shape it right here so it's still too harsh. Just have to just like this maybe. If you look from here, but I have to. The thing is that I think it doesn't look that bad, but the problem now is that I'm actually getting into a space where it's already mixed colors. So maybe just like this should be alright. It's hard.
Maybe just make it shorter, like make it a strong shadow, but not that long. Maybe I don't
works
know.
better. Yeah, just gonna try that. Yeah. So. Yeah, the thing is with the shadow that it have to think about how it would actually work. Even if there would be, I think we should have it right here as well. Have to think about how this shadow would actually fall when I just really don't know how.
Maybe just eyeball it and don't waste too much time on it, because I think there's not going to be that much of a focus on like one shadow. Also, even if it's VR and you could theoretically completely choose as a viewer where to watch, we still need to like guide the viewer, because in like a normal film or like a regular movie, we could with camera moves and stuff like that, we
facing the wrong way.
We could easily guide the view, but here we have to do it a little bit more subtle, and like camera movements and such would theoretically be possible, but we don't want you to puke while watching, so we refrain from using that too much, or like only subtly. Yeah. These shadows are they're really good now. I think they're
yeah, it's all right. I think it's gonna work.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
I have to get this shadow down here, right? Yeah, I think it's going to be fine. I think just the little addition of just a little bit more detail, the shadows will just help the scene a lot, or even more. And I think it's amazing how, like, I think you can see so good how the human eye actually, like, reacts to contrasts, to guess shapes. I think with these examples you can see that so good, because it's not that much difference, but it is totally enough to fool you. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm done with that. Yeah. It's alright.
Don't forget to save. And also
I just did that right now.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
At the moment you said that, I just opened the menu.
Nice. And also for your information, you're already 100 minutes in. And
alright. I'm just gonna think we're just gonna finish to the 2-hour mark, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But it actually, I think it actually looks quite nice. Yes. That's all right. I think the thing now would be like for this scene. I think we actually should say, just watch how it would look like. If you have the background completely dark, completely black, I think that is what we should be going for in scenes like this, where it is about a specific moment for the character, about a specific action. So, just like when you go in for a detail shot in a movie, this is our way to tell you that there's something happening you have to focus on, and because it doesn't add to the story if you would look to the left and see that there is another stone. In this case, something is happening and we want you to look, so there shouldn't be any distractions around. So I think that we should actually go for this kind of look in this type of scene. At least it is.
Maybe we also block it into one of these like spheres. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's what we'll have to do. Yeah, but
so the wall maybe seems bigger than it is because it's being cut off by the sphere. I don't know.
What I can wait. What I really would like to try. Oh, that's gonna be super interesting. I really would love to try to maybe this is the thing that we're gonna try now as a last step, and maybe afterwards I can bring George in just to see him stand right here to see how this will work, maybe.
Yeah, to see if the proportions are the proportions can be fixed, just to see if it works.
Yeah, just how it's gonna look like when he's standing there. But yeah, maybe I'm just gonna like totally ditch the idea of this wall, because this wall is like totally unnecessary right now, because we want the viewer to watch like this, and this is not necessary in this case. But I would like to actually fade to black, just like this, if it works. Oh my god, I don't know which layer am I? Just gonna go to the rock layer, right? So this is something where, like, usually, like the Quill coloring tools, I don't mind them. Like, I think they're all right, but in this case, I would love to have like more control on the coloring, because now, like you will see right now, if I'm just gonna go in and add dark color right here, so it's gonna be totally faded. And then add like a fade right here, so we're just moving slowly up here. So just like this. I think that would work on the sides if you put it like this. But the problem is that I would also have to fade it from bottom up. And I really don't know how to do that. Because now when you look like this, or it could be even like sooner, but it's actually like faded out on the sides as well. But I think I really don't know how I could fix that. If I have to overlay another one from the bottom, maybe that's I hate to use it, but I think I'll try it just to. Because what I'm trying to do is something that I usually wouldn't, because it's using transparency. Because transparency is, in most cases, you would try not to use it because the Oculus Quest doesn't render it that nicely in the headset.
Fiasco G is writing, guys, I'm leaving early as I'm hungry as a horse, smiley face. Was a pleasure. See ya.
Alright, then.
Thank you for...
I hope you have... just... you first. I'm sorry.
Alright. Thank you for watching, thank you for tuning in. There are going to be weekly streams from now on, I guess. Yeah. Have a good one.
Yeah. So, I hope the food will be good, and yeah, maybe see you next time. And thanks for the donation again. Didn't forget that. Well, where are you? Where are you?
Yeah, guys, if you, as Nino said, if you want to, I don't know, give him some money or respect for the artwork. If you want to finance him a Club Mate or a Clubmate or like Paulana Spezi, I don't know. Or if you simply have too much money, I don't know. In the description there's a link where you can tip him something. You don't have to, but it's highly appreciated.
The cooler thing you could do is just hit subscribe and be back for the next stream and follow us on our journey. I think we'll also post a little bit on social media our process. The problems we hopefully don't run into, and more.
Yes.
So it's not just we're going to create George's journey, but you can follow us on our journey, creating his journey. It's gonna be great.
Yes. Oh, he wrote one last message, I think. I'm stoked. You're welcome, smiley face. Thank you again.
Yeah, alright, I think that's not working. But that's alright. Just delete it. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm quite happy with what we achieved today. I'm just gonna load in now our character. You'll have the first sneak peek preview of our character George. I hope I don't mess it up. Loading him into this project. Alright, there it is, but he's running. I don't want to show him running. Or at least in running pose he is now. I'm just gonna delete everything I don't need. So here's the rig. I want that. And now I can delete the whole. I can't delete because they are locked children. Still. But now I have the George rig right here. There he is. Doesn't he look nice? He has a little bit of a back problem, I would say.
And he's definitely been skipping leg day.
So let's just rotate him. I think the size is quite... no. Just make him... just like this, I would say. This seems like it... maybe like this. Because I think this would seem like it is... it would be possible to jump there without, but you would be totally hanging down there, I would say. Or, what would you say?
I'm seeing it right now. I think the size is quite alright, yeah.
Yeah, no?
I think it should be a little bit of a struggle for him to climb the stairs. And also, I think the vine is reachable for him. I don't know how you want to do it in detail, but like he could either jump on it or like try to grab it.
Yeah, I still don't know if we actually gonna... because it's gonna be like a montage, I think.
Oh, right, yeah.
So maybe he already has it in his hands. Maybe it was like fixed to something like, or just hanging like there. Maybe he already has it in his hands. This could be an option. Or maybe he... yeah, or maybe he just jumps on it. But
yeah. That would be very energetic.
I think even though more interesting because you could have him like... I can now puppeteer. Or maybe I should... I'm just gonna duplicate him. And hope that the program doesn't crash. Perfect. So, yeah, so when he jumps like this, then he will just fall down a little bit, you know what I mean? So it's gonna snap and then land right here. So it's not like a smooth motion. If he would have it in his hands, I think it would be like a super smooth motion. And he'd jump, but right here he'll jump, fall into, and it's gonna kick him up right here again. And I think that would be fun. I think it's gonna be very interesting to animate, but...
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but it seems like every step would be possible for him to make, but it isn't like a usual staircase that he could just walk up, but it's... yeah, I think that works quite well.
It has to be a little bit of a struggle for him to reach his goal, otherwise it's...
And... alright, it's me. Where are the assets? Or is this... okay, I'll have to... this is a tool, usually you only select in the layer you actually have selected right here. But you can also put it to your select tool to have it to select in all visible layers. And I'm just gonna do that to check where these things are located. It's rocks prep. Oh no. So I actually want to have these moved away right now. I'm just gonna push them back. And now I'm just gonna take a look how... I still don't know, maybe it's gonna be like two scenes, like, or two different angles you're gonna watch it. Maybe first you'll get a glance of the risk he's taking. So, just like this, that you'll have to actually look down. I could totally imagine, like, I'm just gonna add a new sketch layer just to point out what maybe the plan would be. You could imagine that usually the viewer is watching kind of straight, like this, if you put him at this height. So maybe there'll be like something falling down here, just like this, dropping and then falling down the whole way. And like this, you could, in the moment when somebody is staring like this and something falls and makes a sound when dropping here and falling down here, he'll, like, the first thing is we actually lead the eye of the viewer down to where it is important, and at the same time we show like how deep the whole thing is with something falling down and having maybe the sound, you know, like the echo of something that is falling down and dropping. You know what I mean? Like, if we could add that.
Yeah, that would be a great idea, I think.
Yeah, just a little bit behind, so I hope you'll see it in a moment what I drew.
I'm trying to picture it in my head right now.
But I think it is quite understandable when you see the orange line I drew.
Yes, I can see.
So, yeah, I think it looks quite good. I'm really happy with it for now. I'm just gonna save again. Oh, I'm just gonna save it as version 2 right now. Just to have another duplicate. And I can add a new, I'm just, no, not upload image. No.
We're also arriving in our last minutes of the stream. We hope you had fun, and also...
Yeah, I'm just gonna head back to the, before we're gonna end, I'm just gonna head back to the, to my normal setup and just put down the glasses, and then we're gonna end it like that, I guess. So yeah, I just finished the whole thing. I'm gonna put on the short break, and yeah, I'll see you in a second. And I'm back. Now it's outside of the headset. This time I think it looks, yeah, I'd say quite alright when it comes to like the redness in my face. You can see it right here. So that's what I meant when doing like an, how you call it, maybe a Zoom call or anything like that afterwards. Yeah, I'm quite happy with the results we had today. I just checked, so the Quest, actually the battery was at I think 32%, and I saw that it didn't load the whole time, so maybe when I wanted to check if everything is loading, I actually disabled the loading. But still, it's a 2-hour runtime with wireless
that's impressive,
transmission. that's all right. I think I really like doing longer sessions, and I could totally do that when it's still loading because it's not like dropping rapidly. But still, after like, especially when you're doing it standing, you want to do a short break after that time, and it's loading quite fast, so it's really nice way to work, I guess. I really enjoyed, and yeah, at this point, I think we're gonna end it for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you'll come back. I think next week, same time, would be a good place for the next live stream to happen. But we'll announce that as soon as possible, so you can be back if you're interested in seeing maybe the first animation work. Maybe we'll try to do the scene that I did today, but doing the animation part. I think that could be interesting.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
Yeah, but we'll see. And if you have any questions regarding the topic, feel free to hit me up. Just write me, and you can also, like, the whole live stream will be published later on, and so if you have any questions, you can also ask them there, and we'll try to answer as much or as many questions as possible. Or if it is possible for us to answer, we'll do that. And yeah, so like I said, if you want to stay updated, just subscribe and stay updated with our final project. And I think Niels and I are super excited for this project. I think it's gonna turn out great. It's gonna be a great experience to do the whole thing. We're going to learn a lot. Maybe you'll get into a new technology, or be excited by the whole virtual reality, or just the possibilities that come with virtual reality. And I hope we can excite you a little bit about that as well.
Yes.
And yeah.
Also, I'm going to try streaming as well, maybe next week, but my internet connection isn't that great, so I don't know if that's
so we'll have to try.
going to work. Yeah, but thank you all for tuning in. It was great. Have a good time.
Yeah, at this point, we're gonna end the stream. Like Niels said, just have a good time, and maybe be back for the next stream. Bye.
Bye.